Coffee and Headlines is brought to you by the generous support of our viewers and the following community partners: Best Cord Cutting TV, Bravo's Restaurant Bar, Joint Boutique Hotel and Cowork, Puerto Vallarta Neurofeedback, Puerto Vallarta Owners Reps, Oculto, and Siam Cocina Time. Thank you for your support, and thank you for supporting our community partners. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Coffee and Headlines, our morning get-together live here on Facebook, where we take a look at your comments, ideas, and suggestions. We unpack news that we learn from our city, from our state, from our country, and just pick the best information we could get our hands on so that we can better connect with each other and with Puerto Vallarta, our city of choice. Today is Wednesday, October 2nd. We have a lady president. We have a new mayor. What can possibly go wrong on a day like today? Well, I don't know. I have all kinds of interesting news to share with you, primarily information that has to do with yesterday's inauguration ceremony. I have a couple of local updates and a bunch of interesting local events that I want to share with you in case you are interested in going out there and doing some fun stuff. As usual, if you have any important things that you wish to share with everyone, it helps a great deal if you add a capital letter Q at the beginning of your comment. And if you are watching our live broadcast for the first time and would like a little hello, it doesn't hurt if you add a capital letter N, and we'll give you a nice little welcome. It's as simple as that. Are you ready? Let's get going. And of course, we start with the presidential inauguration of Claudia Sheinbaum, which took place yesterday in a very exciting ceremony. She began her term as the first woman president of Mexico with a 67% approval rating, just 1 point below López Obrador when he began his presidency in 2018. So there is a lot of optimism in the country, and this, of course, is excellent news. In her first official speech as president of Mexico, Claudia Sheinbaum specifically requested to be called La Presidenta and not El Presidente. And along the same lines, she asked for women working in different areas to be addressed with the feminine version of their job. In other words, arquitecta instead of arquitecto, licenciada instead of licenciado, and so forth. Now, this must seem somewhat insignificant for those of you whose language does not differentiate between masculine and feminine nouns, but it is huge in any Spanish-speaking country, and particularly here in Mexico. It is a big deal. As of right now, if you're wondering what is her husband going to be up to, it has not been confirmed whether Jesus Maria Tarriba, Claudia Sheinbaum's husband, will perform any official duties as the first gentleman of Mexico, a role that has been occupied by former wives of male presidents in our country and in many other countries. Now, if you're wondering how much money will she make or earn as president of Mexico, well, the amount is 184,468 pesos per month, or approximately $9,515 US per month. This is the same amount of money that former President López Obrador used to earn. Needless to say, moving forward, any Mexican politician that happens to earn more than that amount per month will be frowned upon by her administration, as was the case during President López Obrador's administration. And of course, Actually, hold on. Where's my mute button? Oh, you definitely did not need to hear that. And of course, for those of us that were watching for her inauguration ceremony, Claudia Sheinbaum wore a gorgeous dress created by hand by an artist from Oaxaca whose name is Claudia Vasquez Aquino. The design fuses Zapotec styled flowers with a contemporary aesthetic. The 41-year-old artist learned to embroider when she was only 10 years of age and has become a sought after artist when it comes to this type of work. In a recent interview, she mentioned that Sheinbaum's team reached out to her and she had no idea that one of her creations would be worn during such an important event. Talk about feeling proud of your work. She actually has an embroidery studio, and you can order through mail order some of her creations, and I will share the link of her Facebook page for future information. Now, if you wanted to encapsulate the government that, or the style of government that Claudia Sheinbaum has vowed to abide by during her presidential term, here are the 10 key points. Number 1, prosperity must be shared. Number 2, you cannot have a rich government with a poor population. Number 3, the government must be honest and honorable. Number 4, democracy is government of the people, by the people, and for the people. Number 5, it is forbidden to forbid. Number 6, development and well-being while looking after the environment. Number 7, gender equality, all this man and woman, masculine and feminine stuff that I was talking about earlier. Number 8, Mexico is a sovereign, independent, and democratic country. Number 9, politics is implemented with love, not hate. And number 10, we condemn class distinction, machismo, and any kind of discrimination. Now, in local news, Mayor Munguía finally presented his cabinet, which includes 6 close advisors and close to 50 directors of the different administration areas at City Hall. One of his first changes is to reorganize the work performed by his administration from 19 commissions to 35, so that each commission or department can better focus on their goals. And last but not least, Governor Alfaro, I love this photograph. Governor Alfaro is in town this morning to inaugurate the improvements on the northbound lateral road along Francisco Medina Ascencio. And I am laughing at this photo, which was chosen by Tribuna de la Bahía, because what the photo indicates is that A, the improvements are not finished, and B, some areas, some streets did not turn out as well as was hoped for, with flooding due to missing rainstorm drains. This is particularly noticeable in Colonia Díaz Ordaz. So much for our governor coming to Puerto Vallarta to inaugurate this thing. At least it's going to stop raining at some point, and we won't have to worry about all this caca water until next year. Let's worry about the weather instead and find out what's going on out there. Snarky Weather says the sun god is trying to hide behind those clouds because he owes me money. Well, that's not good for anybody. 29 degrees right now. Humidity is at 77%. And our weather forecast says that today will be a humid day with mostly cloudy skies throughout the day, a chance of rain of only 15%, a high of 32, and a low of 23. Then tomorrow, Thursday, we're going to have a humid day with mostly cloudy skies, a chance of rain of 25%, a high of 32, and a low of 23. Then Friday, mostly cloudy skies in the morning with rain in the afternoon, a chance of rain of 44%, a high of 32, and a low of 24. So that's what we have in terms of weather to concern ourselves with. And as I mentioned earlier, I have a few interesting activities that you may want to participate in. For starters, it is not every day that we see a workshop in Puerto Vallarta on how to make your own cyanotypes. Cyanotype photography is a camera-less, a technique that doesn't need a camera, that involves laying an object on paper coated with a solution of iron salts before exposing it to UV light and washing with water to create white and Prussian blue images. The workshop will be presented this Saturday from 5 to 9 p.m. in Colonia Versalles. I would be there in a heartbeat because this sounds absolutely fascinating. But I am going to be at the Lucha Libre, which is also happening on Saturday during the evening. I'm really excited about this. It should be a lot of fun. I also learned of a raicilla tasting event that will be presented by Jorge Carvajal of Raicilla Hacienda El Divisadero, based in San Sebastián del Oeste, but the tasting will take place at the Sheraton Hotel on October 15 from 11:30 in the morning to 12:10 in the afternoon. This is all part of the ongoing Vallarta Nayarit Gastronómica Festival, and I will share the Facebook calendar post for this event in case you are a raicilla lover and you want to go check out one of the most popular brands in the state, actually. And this is far off in the future, but I might as well mention it. Shakira, the amazing Colombian singer, composer, dancer, and producer, has announced a stop in Guadalajara on March 16 of next year as part of her upcoming Latin American tour. I read elsewhere that she will be either the first or one of the first artists to perform in Guadalajara's brand new performance arena, which is presently in construction and is expected to be concluded and open to the public during the month of February of this coming year. So I'm not entirely sure whether Shakira will be the first artist to perform there or one of the first, but if you like pop Latin music, Shakira is a ticket to definitely consider. Closer to home, of course, this afternoon is the Spotlight, and we're going to enjoy having a conversation with Maria Ammerman from Christ Church of the Sea to find out what they bring to the table in terms of religion and spirituality here in Puerto Vallarta. Then a week from tomorrow, my next music appreciation presentation, Mexico Soulful Storytellers. And I've already announced my Carol King presentation for our October 24th, not the 23rd as I announced yesterday. I made a typo, but now it has been corrected. It's a Thursday as usual. But on the following Tuesday after that, I will repeat my very popular Day of the Dead presentation where we will unpack everything you may want to know about Mexico's favorite traditional celebration, the history, the mysticism, the traditions, the superstition of it, and ways in which you can participate in this much sought after celebration. And also, I did some work on my next presentation after that, which will be, I finally want to get out of my system a half a dozen works by Sergei Rachmaninoff, the Russian composer, that are absolutely heavenly. So we're going to talk about some of my favorite Rachmaninoff. This will be on November 7th. And of course, all my music appreciation presentations take place at the Joint Boutique Hotel, which is not only a great place to talk about something you love. They also have cooking classes and yoga classes and all kinds of other events. And last but not least, of course, the Joint Boutique Hotel and Cowork is a community partner for Coffee and Headlines, something that makes me extremely, extremely grateful. And now let us take a look at your comments. And we have lots of good mornings, which I appreciate. It is a pleasure to read them. There's a cue from Chris. If you could go back in time, where would you go? I'd go back to Woodstock to enjoy all the musicians. If I could go back in time, where would I go? Oh my God, that's such a good question. I suppose I would want to go to the premiere performance of any of my most beloved classical music works. I've often fantasized about what would it be like to bring either Mozart or Rachmaninoff or any of the composers that I love to the present while one of their pieces is being performed. But there you go. Let's see what else we have. Ooh, Kathy says, I'd go back to Paris in 1997 and tell Diana to not get into that car. That is very thoughtful. Dan, I read this on a private message just now. I'm sending you good vibes. I hope that everything turns out okay for Kathy. Please keep us posted. Let's see what else we have. Pamela says, I always struggle with whether I am an actress or an actor, even in English. This is controversial. Well, that is one of the few instances in which you have separate words for English, for men and women in a specific type of work. Now, just imagine if your language has masculine and feminine things all over the place, and you can appreciate how this is an important situation. Let's see. Boom, 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 boom. My goodness, Alan, you were just in town and now you are in Guanajuato and then in San Miguel de Allende. Good for you. I love any English-speaking local or cluster member that has the curiosity and courage to go and explore around Mexico. Tell us how it goes. And Logan comments on the first official day of the Munguía administration and a phrase that they're using as part of their campaign. Puerto Vallarta is reborn. I've heard them say something along the lines of Puerto Vallarta never, what's the word? Steep? Do you steep so low? Well, what Munguía tried to say is that Puerto Vallarta had never been in such a bottom type of situation. So that's a subtle way to throw some shade at the past administration, that's for sure. That deserves one of these. Yes. Let's see what else we have. Yeah, the 40 minutes for the raicilla tasting also caught my attention, Albert. Maybe that's why he's calling it a vertical tasting, degustación vertical. Maybe you're just standing up, having a quickie, and then going about your business. Shakira, let's go, Logan. You know, it's going to be a fortune to go see her perform, but wow, imagine that. Let's see what else. Oh, Barbara, thank you so much for that endorsement. The Day of the Dead presentation is highly recommended. We attended last year. We learned so much. Thank you, Paco. Well, thank you, Barbara, for your kind words of endorsement. Much appreciated. Hey, what happened to a jazz class? Well, what happened, Albert, I know I had promised you a jazz presentation while you were here. Unfortunately, the first of my 3 Mexican music presentations had to be canceled because of technical problems at the hotel. So we had to reschedule that. So we get a Mexican presentation instead. I hope you find that intriguing. Let's see. Kathy says, I will be seeing you a lot that week, Paco. Day of the Dead presentation on October 29th and Per Project on Spotlight on October 30th. Oh my goodness, it's official. Yay. That'll be a lot of fun. I look forward to that. And I think Stoop so low. Oh, the bar was low. Well, thank you very much for that. Yeah, I thought it had to do with stooping. But yeah, that's which is not the same thing as stooping in my book. Stooping is a lot more joyful sometimes. Anyhow, this is what we have for today. This is time to get going. I'm going to go to Plaza Caracol right now to go find my tickets for the Lucha Libre, and I hope they're still on sale in front of Cash Register 4 of Soriana as they announced. So this is time to say thank you, as before, for liking, subscribing, suggesting, recommending, and for following our project, Coffee and Headlines, and all the other things that we do. Thank you for investing in Coffee and Headlines through coffees and memberships. It helps a great deal when you do. And thank you for being such an awesome cluster. You really are an amazing community that I'm very, very grateful to be part of. I will see you this afternoon live for the Spotlight and in person if you are in the Joint Hotel neighborhood. And if not, I will see you tomorrow morning here for more Coffee and Headlines. Have a great day.